Mr. West.
Well, I'll make that analogy in a second. Do you think it's possible that Jimmy Butler's ankle is affecting him at all? And I ask that because it is unusual to see him in a game where his team needs his scoring to wind up with, I don't know how many, but 13, 14 points, whatever
13 points and 14 shots.
Dude can be tired, though, Max.
I was about to say the same.
At altitude, yeah.
Man, not even just the altitude. Literally, he had to carry his team to a degree in 7 games.
No doubt, but on a bum ankle, too.
You just don't bounce back from that in 2 days, right? They played Monday, was Thursday, 3 days. Or 2 because they played. You just don't, Jay, I tell you just don't bounce back from that.
You think the injury could be affecting him at all?
So in the postseason, Jimmy Butler is playing 40 minutes a game.
So you think it's fatigue?
I think it's a combination of all of it. I think it's fatigue. I think it's the ankle injury that, by the way, as a player, Key, you get the ankle injury like week 2, and all of a sudden you're like, it's week 7. How do I still have this ankle injury?
Stiff. And,
these things linger. And also, Key, the fact that you just said you just came off a game 7 in which, you beat up on Boston, but you exerted a lot of energy. You then travel to Denver. You have a day of rest, shoot around. You try to get a practice in, and all of a sudden you're going against a team that's had 10 days off, that's acclimated to playing at that altitude anyway.
And on top of that, so they played, what was game 7, what day?
Monday.
So that means that they probably traveled.
Monday night or Tuesday
No, I'm
morning?
saying to Boston. They traveled on Saturday?
Yeah.
So think about
a Monday game?
Then the game was Saturday, right?
Okay, so think about
game
this
6 on Saturday?
Yeah, it was.
Game 6 was on Saturday, so then they traveled probably Saturday or Sunday.
So the last time, most likely they traveled, most likely they got to Boston a day early.
Yeah.
So think about it this way. The last time that man and that team probably slept in their own beds was Friday night.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? Because they play Saturday, they leave after the game to go to Boston. They've been away from their home. When you're gone that long, Max, and you've traveled before, but it's different when you play sports, and Jay know this. When you're not in your own environment, your own bed, you're restless, you're not sleeping as well, every little noise wakes you up, you're up thinking, you're in this room. All of that carries into a game because now your legs are fatigued, your mind, you're not well rested. They've been on the road. They've been on the road for damn near a week out of their own bed.
Yeah, they haven't probably slept in the same bed more than two nights in a week, right?
But their own bed at their house since probably Friday night.
So they're tired, traveling, playing a lot of high-intensity games.
Yes.
Their leader and best player has a bad ankle. And on top of that, but I'm not making excuses for them because of this. Because of this. The Nuggets, great Roy Jones, best fighter I ever saw when he was in his
pound for
prime.
pound, best fighter I ever saw.
He talked about this great Mexican fighter, Salvador Sanchez. He was champion when I was a kid, right? Or maybe this is Roy, and Mike Tyson also was talking about him, saying that Sanchez was a beast because if he was fighting an okay fighter, he beat him by a little bit, and you'd think, okay, so this better fighter could beat him. But the more you brought, the worse he beat you. Mm-hmm. And the Nuggets kind of remind me of that. When you analyze the games, you go, oh, wait a minute. They cut it to single digits late. What if they were rested? What if Jimmy Butler's ankle was good? Look at the Lakers. They made each game close, but it's like the Nuggets always have enough to beat you. And in the end, you look down, you go, damn, they swept them.
But and look at it this way, Jay. You brought up the minutes for Jimmy Butler, right?
Yep.
The Denver Broncos, the Denver Nuggets, 3 of their 5 starters logged 40-plus minutes, okay? Just 3 of their 5 starters logged 40-plus minutes. They're rested at home. The other 2 are 30-plus. I mean, that tells you right then and there how well-rested they are opposed to what Miami is like.
And also the game was physical, right? So it's a very different, like when you're undersized and then the game is physical. Like throughout the regular season when these two teams played, Miami got posted up 30 times for 47 points. So like that's the recipe. I'll tell you something else that you'll start seeing in game 2 if Jamal Murray recognizes it and Michael Malone should let him. They couldn't switch that action. Jimmy Butler's guarding Aaron Gordon. So whenever Aaron Gordon is setting the screen, you saw them later in the game. Like, literally, Jimmy was trying to push up, and they were trying to send Gabe Vincent, whoever that was, under or over the top. Jamal Murray's going to start ripping that apart because if they were to switch, they throw Aaron Gordon right down to the block. So Jimmy can't switch off that matchup anymore. So
Aaron Gordon and Jokic was finding him so early in that game. They established Gordon down low early in the game. He was bullying him in the paint.
And even the first possession, you saw they ran action for Jamal Murray to come off a screen, but the first possession was to get Joker right on the block to attack Bam. Right? I mean, so Bam had a great offensive game last night on 25 shots. I love that he was aggressive. But if you're Michael Malone or you're Denver Nuggets, you're going to attack him constantly because you want to get him in foul trouble.
Then you look at the pieces they have. Like I mentioned, Jamal Murray and Jokic are both excellent passers. And obviously Jokic gets a lot of credit for it, but Jamal Murray's really a point guard. And you look at the different pieces they have. Michael Porter Jr. really hasn't lit it up yet, but he's a pure shooter. Aaron Gordon is an explosive athlete. Right? Like they have every little piece you need, and then they're well coached.
Yeah, I was going to say, the only team that I think actually matches up physicality-wise and actually has the bodies to throw at Joker was your squad, was the Lakers, man. Like between throwing AD, who's one of the best defenders in the league from a low post position, Rui, who's strong, athletic, can move around, similar to Bam, and LeBron James.
So what happened then, Jay?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And they had the bodies, right? Now, look, Miami can still shoot the lights out of the ball, and I think they found something in that zone matchup. But still, it's like Jokic is still catching the ball in the middle of the zone, turning, facing, making plays.
You're going to need a little luck. You're going to need a little luck.
You need that three ball to go down.
Yep. Eric Spoelstra, by the way, was asked, and of course, Spo was just like, well, they're better than us. We might as well not. No, this is what Eric Spoelstra said after the game.
It always kind of could look different. If a few of these threes go down at the right time, a few of the layups, right at the rim, or the short ones go down at the right time, that also could kind of change your perspective or tenor of how you think things are going. But we do need to do things better. I think that part is clear.
You mentioned doing things better. You just mentioned the point he just made, Jay, but Jimmy Butler.
Look at all these shots, man. All these shots that you're seeing right now on ESPN2.
Yeah.
Like the first thing, and sometimes it's hard to refamiliarize yourself with this. When the shots aren't going from the outside, you got to attack the paint. Like Caleb Martin couldn't find a shot. Attack the paint. No starter had a free throw attempt in this game for the Miami Heat. Not one starter.
Jimmy Butler on only shooting 2 free throws, the entire team for the game. Not Jimmy Butler, the entire team. Listen to this.
Probably because we shot a lot of jump shots, myself probably leading that pack instead of putting pressure on the rim, getting layups, getting to the free throw line. When you look at it during the game, they all look like the right shots, and I'm not saying that we can't as a team make those, but got to get more layups, got to get more free throws. And whenever you miss and don't get back, the games get out of hand kind of quickly. We gave up too many layups, which we also can't have happen. But that's it as a whole. We got to attack the rim a lot more, myself included.
You see the way Miami win games, you get to the free throw line, you attack the rim, you force the defense to contract, then the shots start going from the outside. But look, I don't see under any circumstance in which the Miami Heat can defend the Denver Nuggets. Their offense has to be the defense for them, right?
You're going to just have to play better than them.
They have to score, and they have to set a tone offensively. If they can do that, then they'll be in this series. That's tough, though, because your defense takes away from your legs on the offensive end because you have to battle the physicality of it.
That was the point I made earlier. The Nuggets just give you the feeling that even if the Heat do that and what's required of the Nuggets is to elevate, then that's what they're going to do. It just feels like that's you can make it seem as though they're vulnerable or anything, but in the end, they're a cut above. All right.
He's so stupid.
Which star? Yeah.
That's a code.
Hot up in here,
That's
man.
a sign.
Yeah. He's just standing himself. Which star could lead his team on a Jimmy Butler